There we go. All right. I see. I see us. I see us right now. We look so adorable. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
So I'm going to let a few people join us before we start. I see some people are starting to. Hi, everybody. I'm just going to wait a few minutes. Again, you all know when you watch, you tell me if there's an issue with sound. I'm really excited for you all to join me today because I have a special guest, and that guest is my brother. Here, Dr. Mondrian Contreras. And this is so exciting. And honestly, Mon, I don't know why we haven't done this before.
I know, I don't either.
Because you're raising children and you're running a veterinarian clinic, and maybe that's probably why. I mean, I just think you're busy. That's probably the reason why,
Well, if you're trying to save the world and you are trying to educate people, we're so thankful. Okay, believe me.
I do really appreciate that.
Yes.
It's so bizarre to me to think that we only have 20 days
Yes.
before this election. It is, isn't it mind blowing to you that it's just 20 days beforehand?
Yeah, it is. So
it seems like it's going to happen tomorrow, but it also has like this weird distant effect as well in the future. It's so bizarre.
I was having I think I told you, anxiety with the voting. We had to get it done. Me and my wife were like, we're doing it done. We got it done. We've cast our ballots. All right. It's a huge weight off of my shoulders now. Okay.
Yeah. I think that's awesome. And you said you didn't have issues voting in Illinois?
No. Well, and again, we did it by the mail, and we're able to track our ballots, and so that's what we're doing.
Okay, very cool. And I want to say really quickly, you also have a representative that you really love for your area.
I have quite a few. All right, but we have Maura Hershiser, she is amazing, and so she is running right in Illinois, as well as Lauren Underwood, who is probably one of the most amazing congresswomen ever, and she is just incredible. So again, I absolutely adore her. I've I can't knock on doors now, but what we did in the primaries.
Yeah.
And those things,
so. Yeah, I remember you were so cute. You had the Lauren Underwood T-shirt, and you brought the kids around, which I think is an unfair advantage to bring cute children with you.
People are much less likely to yell at you when you have two of the most adorable children with you.
See, that was perfect.
And I'm teaching them to be a part of the process. All right,
I love it, and they're already getting to be civically engaged. Your kids are all civically engaged.
Exactly.
I love it. Well, today I wanted to bring you on because you have an amazing event coming up on November 1st, and before I say this, my brother is a veterinarian. And I'm going to ask him this question, and I can't believe I've never asked you this before, Mondrian. Why did you become a veterinarian, by the way?
So, I know. Why have you never asked me that?
I don't know. I feel like a terrible sister that I've never questioned.
You're the most amazing sister, okay?
Thank
you. This is a two-part question, actually. So, because when Moja, our dog, had puppies, all right, I think I was in second or third grade, all right, that was one of again, as a child, the biggest impact of my life. I would run home every day, all right, to play with those puppies. It was the greatest thing I have ever experienced. All right, I had never experienced that much joy in having all these puppies. All right, and so that was one of the greatest times that I've ever had. And so our puppies, and I knew then like animals were my thing, and I wanted to, I wanted to be around them. I just wanted to work with them, and I knew it from that day that's what I wanted to do. And then it was actually our Aunt Sharon, who knew I loved animals. Okay. She actually got me a volunteer position at a veterinary clinic. And so, and I was just wiping cages, and I was, walking dogs, but I was like, this is the greatest job like in the world. And that was it. I was like, I knew this is what I wanted to do. I got a little sidetracked. I got a little sidetracked in college. Okay. So, but again,
but wait, how did you get sidetracked? You were playing football.
I
You
was
did
playing
art.
football. Yeah, I was playing football, and again, you know that unfortunately in high school I did have some issues in high school. Again, kind of was going home to home. I was emancipated, like foster thing, and then and so I kind of got sidetracked. So when I went to college, my grades weren't wonderful, and so my college coaches. So I played football at the University of Illinois, and my college coaches who just loved me and they really wanted me to be successful thought that this would not be the path that I should go on. So they said, maybe you should do something different. So I ended up graduating in art history, which is actually, I love. And again, we're a very creative family, but I knew once I graduated that I wanted to be a veterinarian. So I had to go back to school and become a veterinarian. So again just a couple of years. It took me a couple of years, not a big deal.
But what I think is great about that is I think that there's something that's really frustrating about this like American philosophy of that everybody's supposed to be on this like singular path and that everybody's supposed to understand, what they're doing and where they're going next. And that's just not true for so many people, especially for us. Like we had tragedy early in our life. And so it takes time to kind of not only heal, but figure out which path you go on. And I love that Mojo, our dog, who was a Alaskan Husky, who was a bad dog because she went off and then got pregnant and we came home to a litter of puppies. And I remember that. I love that. And that's the first time I know. It's so sad. That's the first time I realized that's why my brother became a veterinarian. You have to understand that in our family, like if we dream it, we do it. So when Mondrian's like, I'm going to go to veterinarian school, I'm like, oh, okay. That sounds great. That's amazing. But I skipped the beat of asking you why you decided to pursue it. I just don't question it when you do things. I'm like, oh, okay, that sounds great. So you started this charity event. You started this this annual Carol Stream event. I would love to know why you decided to do it. I mean, I think it's wonderful that it engages the community, but why did you decide to start doing this event?
So awesome. So so the reason why, so basically we had us as veterinarians and animal lovers and those type of things, I wanted to make it more our own. So I wanted to make it two things. I wanted to make it more educational. So I wanted to have vendors, but I wanted to have pet related vendors. And so I wanted to have like groomers. I wanted to have, boarding facilities. I wanted to have, other animal hospitals. I wanted to let owners know what kind of things are out there. I wanted to let them know that, again, the type of services that are out there for pet owners. Because again, it's just a more educated pet owner they just are so much better at understanding what is involved in taking care of a pet. All right. So, because pet owners really do want to do what's right. All right. But again, I think is the lack of what's out there and getting the right knowledge out there, getting the right information out there. So my job is really to try to get those people who share that, wanting to get that education and wanting to know how to really take care of pets and all the things that are out there. So I've tried to cultivate so basically it's mainly just pet related vendors that help out with that, even pharmaceutical companies and things like that, pet insurance and those type of things, because some people don't even know that those type of things are out there. So that was one aspect of it. But then the other aspect of it is it does need to be fun and entertaining. Okay? Of
course, so yes,
that's the hard part. But it's actually the most fun part, right? Because there is like the Westminster Dog Show, right, every year, but that's just for like pure breed dogs. Well, again, 90% of the dogs that I see are mixed breed dogs. And so I wanted to make a list of categories that do several different things. So like best puppy, best costume. Okay. Again, that's more for like the physical, like celebrates our pets like features and helps to celebrate some of their uniqueness as far as their just how cute they are, basically. Right. But then we have things like waggiest tail and best voice, because those are like certain pet characteristics that we all know and love. But it's actually very funny because it's extremely unique among all of our pets, and then especially like voice, because that's the way our pets communicate with us, even though sometimes we hate it, but it can be very adorable. But even like birds, that's awesome. So but then I also wanted to highlight the relationship. So I have like junior handler and best rescue. So like junior handler really kind of celebrates the fact that kids, all right, are the bond that kids share with our pets. Again, I cannot, people again that have grown, like pets that have grown up with, they have such an impact on us and our lives. Like again, my dog is really one of the you really kind of directed me to the course of my future. You know what I mean? Like that's how big an impact our pets can have on us, as well as things like again, Best Rescue. Like Best Rescue, again, is basically just a photo of the dog or a video of the dog, right? But it shows the story behind the dog, okay? And how some of these dogs have been like neglected, abused, or just in a really bad situation. They're almost given like a second chance. And so, and I wanted to celebrate the pet owner too, because it's just like some of these owners are they're incredible, right? Like what they've been able to do, what they've been able to take on. Like again, like some of these dogs are just like they're really like they can be very mean and aggressive, but some of these owners have been able to take them on, okay, and really just rehabilitate them. Not all of them. I want to make sure it's clear. Again, it's not owners' fault, but a lot of these owners have done an above and beyond job of being able to take care of these pets and really give them a second chance and give them a great, great life. So I also wanted to make sure. So like with Best Rescue, that's almost a celebrating of the pet owner, and that's again, that's kind of in the stories of what these kind of dogs go through. So I wanted to highlight all those things in this show because there's so many different things that we can celebrate about our pets, and that's kind of the goal with the show. That's educating and entertaining. And so that was what we were hoping to accomplish. All right, with this show.
I love that, but you also started a charity that goes with it. And I want people to know a little bit about Vet Bros and how it started, and that you have these two cute, adorable faces. People can see it on the logo right there. Can you tell us a little bit about the charity and how it started and kind of what you want to do with this charity?
Absolutely. So the one thing that's great is that this is so the Vet Bros Pet Education Charitable Fund it's a 501c3 organization that helps provide financial assistance to pet owners who are undergoing various hardship, help to pay for their pet's medical care. It also helps the big thing for me was always, it helps to kind of educate our youth about pets, about the pet industry, about different jobs and things like that are out there, mainly veterinary medicine because that's what I focus on. But I try to touch on all those things as well, so kind of kids get a whole idea of what this industry is really all about. Okay, and so and then actually, in February, I was in talks because I'm trying the next phase of our charities. We're trying to put together a program for the homeless and their pets. And so what I want to try to do is, so what I did when I was with Florida, Dr. Asaza, we would go, I think like every other month or so, we would go to certain, homeless shelters, and those homeless that have pets, we would obviously take care of their pets. So I'm trying to implement that program as well for the homeless in Chicago. And so unfortunately, talks and everything like that kind of got sidetracked because of COVID. I'm hoping that in the spring, I'll be able to try to put that program together again and try to get talks with people to try to help, because there's so many homeless and there's so many homeless owners that have pets. And so I really want to try to make an impact in that area. So because again, I know that those pets mean so much to us, but it's just a way to hopefully try to give back and help.
Well, I love that. And I think during COVID, especially, people have really relied on their animals, like their pet family members, because of isolation and connection. Because I've heard people criticize in the past, that I worked on homeless issues when I was in high school, and people would criticize the homeless for people who are experiencing homelessness for having an animal. And I was like, listen, this is helping someone with their mental health. It's helping someone with their loneliness. And so a lot of the times those pets are lifesavers. And just unfortunately, sometimes obviously they can't afford to take care of these pets or get them neutered or spayed. And also people who are experiencing poverty. This is some of the same issues, like deep poverty. They're experiencing the same thing. They want the pet to be in their life. It's something that helps them, that gives them comfort, that calms them. And so, yeah, it can be expensive. Which brings me to this. What do you think is a misconception about veterinarian medicine, and why the costs are the way that they are? And why do you think that people like understand the cost of like a human body, but don't understand the cost of an animal body?
I know it is. It's one of the biggest misconceptions is that veterinarians have money, which we do not. and we do not. And again, this is not a profession. Hopefully, people understand that they go into it for the money. All right, it is a profession that you go into mainly because it's what you're passionate about, and you get excited. I love my job. Like I love it. You know. And it does put food on the table, but it is not anything where, again, you are being like extremely lucrative. It's not for that. And the other thing too is that the reason why veterinary medicine costs the way it does, and again, just so we're clear too, it is a fraction of what human medicine costs, but we still have to pay those costs. What people understand, again, the anesthetic machine, all right, all the medications that are given, all right, all those things, you know, and again, even the experience and the technicians, and again, a lot of my techs again are going to school, like they go to school for this, and they get paid again, unfortunately, a fraction of what nurses and things like that get paid. Okay, but the biggest reason why is because a lot of times people just don't see those bills because of their insurance. So when a tooth, right, that is being pulled, a major tooth that's being pulled from a dog's mouth, right? Yes, cost again, you know, between, you know, depends, you know, $500 to $1,000, depending on however it is. But again, when you're talking about a human with the same type of procedures, right? I mean, that is a fraction. But the thing is that their insurance pays for almost sometimes all of it. And so they don't see those bills versus, even though if you looked at it, it's going to be, you know, I mean, it could be $5,000 to $10,000. Okay. For okay. Yeah. And so, and we're using all the same equipment. We're using the dental radiographs. I mean, we're using all these same things. And so, but you're just getting it for significantly less money because, again, just because of, because of how much it is. Okay. But that's the only thing. So I think the biggest misconception and the biggest problem is just because, again, people don't see their bills from the insurance and they pay for that. Okay. And so, but you see that when people don't have insurance, right? They basically, if they get any kind of illness, I mean, we see that one of the biggest problems that we have in this country is that people really just going financially bankrupt because of their medical needs. Okay. And so
well, hopefully that will get addressed in 20 days as well. Where's the wood? I'm not going to get all of it. So yes. So I want to ask this. What do you, I think that was wonderful information. And I think the people who have pets do kind of understand that. But for some people that don't, they don't understand how that works. But I do want to talk about this event a little bit more. How can people get involved? Like, for example, my best friend is going to be entering her cute, adorable dog into your contest. And so it says right here, and I forgot to text you her information. I'll do that tonight. I have allergy brain fog because I take allergy medicine. So first of all, they can watch it live on Carol's Stream that's correct, right? .com.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, how can they enter their pet into the contest and also find out about your charity? Is this all on Carol's Stream .com that they can watch on the 1st of November?
Absolutely. So they can go ahead and watch it on that, or they can watch it on the carolstreamah.com webpage, and you can also watch it on most of our social media accounts, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. So you can watch it on all those platforms as well. The other thing though too is, so to enter the competition, they can either just go to the website and click on our Charity Dog Show page that we have. We can also go, there's several different ways. The Vet Bros Pet Education.org website as well you can sign up there as well. But also just if you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, any of those places, literally the links are right on there. So any of the videos, any of the things that we put up, every one of them has a link that you can click on, and it'll take you right to the page where you can click on any of the categories. And it's really simple. You just click on any of the categories, submit your photos or videos of any of the categories, and then you will be up. And it's for free, okay? And it's totally free. It takes less than like 2 to 5 minutes, okay? And just to download your pictures and your pets, and then answer probably 4 or 5 questions, all right? So that we can talk about your pet during the event, and your pet
can be
awesome. All right.
Well, I think that's awesome, because I know that everybody is so focused on the election right now, but I think that some people also need their brain to be somewhere else for a little bit. And I think there's nothing better than looking at cute animals, especially on the first. We're all gonna be like, ah! So I think oh, cute dogs, look at this. I think it's a perfect event before the big event happens, So I want everybody to follow Dr. Mondrian Contreras. It's Dr. Mon Contreras on Twitter. And you can also follow his page on Facebook and Instagram. On Instagram, you can see at the bottom there, it's Carol Stream AH, right? Wait, yep.
Carol Stream Animal. I think it's Carol Stream Animal.
Yeah, Carol Stream Animal. Thank you. And it's so, you want to follow him because he's always taking pictures of the cute, first of all, his patients, right? And they're so cute.
They're adorable.
So I want everybody to join the event, and I'll be tweeting about it myself. And one of the last things I want to ask you, Mon, is, during this time of COVID, what are some of the changes that you've had to make personally as a veterinarian at the hospital? And have people really been kind of paying attention to those safety protocols? Or had there been a lot more questions asked about COVID in their animals? What are some of the things that have been new for you during this time of COVID?
Yeah, there's definitely been a lot of changes that our hospitals had to make and adjust, because the big thing is that we're trying to make sure we're keeping people safe as well. Right. So we have curbside service. People, there has been definitely people who have balked at that a little bit, and been 99% of the people are great. They're fine with it. Right. They understand, and they want to be safe too. And so, but some people, yes, have been kind of not been, as happy about the situation. Right. And so they haven't liked our protocol that great, but most people have been great. So, but what we had to do is basically curbside service. So we pick up when they have to call us, we have to pick up their pet, we come, we get them. And then we've had to do all of our history taking on the phone, right. All the payments and things like that have been on the phone. And so that unfortunately has made things take longer. So appointments right. are longer, and so that's been very, very tough. The thing is, we get emergencies too a lot. And so when we get emergencies on top of that, that makes things really difficult time-wise. Most people are understanding of it. Some people are not, which is okay. And then the other thing too is that so many people are home now, which again is very difficult, because it's not difficult, but I think they're recognizing a lot of things, and I think their stress is being brought upon on their pets as well. And so I think their pets are becoming more anxious, and so they are noticing more things as well. So I'm actually on the phone an unbelievable more amount of time now as well, because I get so many phone calls right now. Yeah. And so it does get extremely difficult to have a full book of appointments, to have all the phone calls, because I'll have pages of phone calls that I have to call people back on. And then to have emergencies come on top of that so many times, it's just, there's not enough hours in the day. So most people are okay with me if I have to call them the next day, but some people get really upset, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't have enough time in a day to do all of this. But again, we try our best. So that's been the most difficult part, I think, is honestly the phone calls, because I have
I didn't even think about the fact that obviously a lot of animals take on the emotions of their human, and of course they would be feeling stressed out during COVID as well. So they're calling you going, "Why is my pet stressed out? I don't understand." It's like, maybe you need to calm down, take it down a little bit, and that's maybe some of the issues. Well, I will conclude with this, and then I'm going to go into talking about voting. please tell me anything else you want people to know about your event. Oh, will my niece and nephews be joining you?
They will be. So the one thing I will say about this event is that it is a charity dog show, but it's with friends this year. And so what I got most excited about is that again, because it's hard, because I'm a person that loves to be out in the public. I love meeting people. I love being, there with the pets, seeing the pets. So that is the hardest part about having this event online. But we always make the best of our situations. And so this year it's with friends. So I think we're going to have a tarantula in the event. We'll have we'll have birds, we'll have snakes. We'll have, again, a lot of different animals this year competing with our beautiful dogs. Okay.
So cute.
I am extremely, that part I got so excited about, that I could open it up to everybody. Okay.
Yeah.
And I get to open up. So a lot of my friends, like my vet school friends and things like that, I'm so thankful for them. So many of them have been so awesome. And so they get to submit, so they get to be a part of it as well. So not only does my amazing community get to be a part of it, but all my friends and family and, they all get to be a part of it too, which I'm extremely, extremely excited about. And then,
awesome.
Yes, my children, who are animal lovers, okay, they will be judges at the event, as well as some of my nieces, okay, they will be judges as well, who are all animal experts in and of themselves, okay. So I'm very, very excited about that as well. So that will be a lot of fun.
That's amazing. Well, I love it, and I love you, and I'm so glad you were able to join me today on this special election countdown. And I wish my niece would come say hi, but I get it. She's having a shy day. Tell her I don't buy it for a minute. She's a Contreras. She's not shy at all. We only are shy for attention. I don't believe it.
I know. He does.
Well, tell her I love you.
I love you. Okay, please. Okay, just we got to go to the finish line here. Okay, so we need you every day. Okay, says we need you every day. All right,
I'm here.
Everybody here in Illinois, we are so thankful for you. Okay, and the work you've been doing is incredible. So thank you.
Thank you.
We are so appreciative. All right.
Well, I appreciate it. I love you. We will chat soon, like we always do. But again, everybody, Sunday, November 1st. 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. Central. I think it's Central Daylight Time. Okay, remember that, folks.
Daylight Savings Time.
It's going to be Daylight Savings Time on November 1st. Everyone, please remember that. All right, Manuel, I'll let you exit out of the stream as I move into the 20 days. This should not be so tomorrow. Hi, Bridget, I love you. That's Mondrian's wife. Hi.
I can't watch because there's too many people online. So good luck. You're not live right now, right?
Yeah, we're very live right now. Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
I love it. She's like the mom with the most right now. She's like, because her kids are, your eyes' kids are remote learning, and then her husband's live, so Bridget's a badass. Bridget's a badass. That's why Mom married her.
Oh, she is.
All right. I love you. I will talk to you soon.
All right. Love you, sis.
All right, bye. Hi, everybody. So I am here. I'm going to put on my banner, my brand here, because now I'm going to move into election talk, and I'm going to remove my thing here. There we go. Hi, everybody. So I'm going to be talking about the last 20 days of the election. You got to see my amazing brother. My brother is so badass. So here we go. I'm going to say it right now. Do retweet. Just be patient with me for a moment. Talking about the last 20 days of election now. Okay. Yeah. So we have 20 days left. And I honestly can't believe it. I can't believe we've gotten to this place right now. I'm excited because of us having 20 days left. There's lots of great things. One of the best things, obviously, is the amount of early voting that has occurred. If you don't already, you should follow Michael McDonald, not the singer. He is a statistician, a data collector. He is tracking the election. As of this second, he's starting to track New Mexico's early voting. As you know, I was raised in New Mexico. I have my New Mexico button right here. You can see that right there. So as of right now, over 14.4 million people have successfully early voted, which is absolutely amazing. And I would go to @ElectProject on I would go to @ElectProject now and follow them on Twitter because Michael is keeping track. You know, one of the things that's the most exciting to me about him doing this tracking for the election project is because we kind of already get a taste of what's going on. And if you look at the numbers of the breakdown of what he's done, you can see that Democrats are returning their ballots at almost a 2-to-1 rate above Republicans. A lot of people have been worried about that, saying, oh, no, well, on election night, people are going to go in person. It's going to mostly be Republicans, and it's going to look like Donald Trump is ahead. That is maybe true, but maybe not true. There's only a few states that don't start counting or processing their ballots at all until election day. There's a lot of states that start they start to process their ballot, some right when they get there, and some start processing it a week before or a few days before. So they're going to be able to clock in those ballots, and then they count them on election day. So some of that information is going to be counted at the exact same time. Okay, so you shouldn't be too panicked about the fact that we have so many Democrats early voting. One statistician, Dave Wasserman, who I always fight with on Twitter, I don't fight with him. I merely engage him and say that he needs to be more inclusive in the way that he discusses the electorate, or when something happens and he's talking about voter suppression and he's saying it's not really a thing, I correct him about that. Because if you are waiting in line for more if you're waiting in line for more than 5 hours, that is voter suppression, because no eligible voter in America should be waiting that long to vote. Period. End of story. That is voter suppression. And keep in mind the disability community, our seniors, those that have jobs that are or have kids at home, they're not going to, some of them are not going to be able to stay in line for 5 to 10 hours. Again, that is an example of what voter suppression is, okay? So, we are having issues with voter suppression. However, this is the good news. The good news is that people are being October voters. They're showing up to the polls now. They're not waiting until November 3rd. Now, do I think there are going to be a crush of people that vote on November 3rd and that there's going to be long lines? Absolutely. And how do I know that? I know that because it's as evidenced by what's happening with our registration. Because we know that registration crashed in Virginia. A line was cut in Virginia inexplicably for the registration rolls. Georgia, I'm going to take off my jacket. I'm a little warm. Georgia voting rolls crashed as well on the last day, which means that there are people that are doing things last minute this election. There were people that were doing last minute registration, and then there's going to be people that are doing last minute voting, unfortunately. And that's because people are busy. And sometimes it doesn't occur to them to do it until that time. However, if you have family members that have early voting, and again, the vast majority of states have early voting, please text them and ask them if they have gotten their ballot, because right now they should be requesting the ballots right now, because think about it. If you are requesting a ballot at this moment, it's going to take a couple of days for your board of elections or whoever processes it in your county to process that application. Then they're going to send it out, and you have to think, because of the post office, it's going to take 7 to 10 days for that ballot to arrive to your place, right? And that puts us at October 20th, October 21st. And then you yourself will then have to fill out your ballot. Then you're going to mail it. And you have to think that that could take 7 to 10 business days. And that puts us where? At the end of October. Okay? So right now, I need all of you, if you decide to vote by mail, if you decide to fill out your ballot, then please do it today. Please do it today. Okay. And if you've already done it, I'm so thankful for you. And also what you can do is text your family members, text your friends and say, hey, have you requested your ballot? And if they say, listen, I think I'm going to vote in person, say to them, you can vote in person in most states early, and that you should. Please encourage that. Okay. Now, poll working. Some states are going to start having deadlines soon if you can apply for being a poll worker. So I would double check. I would go to @PowerThePolls on Twitter and on Instagram and find out if those deadlines have already passed. If they haven't passed and you're in a position to volunteer, remember it's paid in some states. Please do it. My husband and I are not in New York right now. And if we were in New York, I would be a poll worker. And part of me feels guilty that I'm not able to do that and that I'm here. My husband and I decided to come out of town for our mental health because we needed more space in our small apartment. But and I can't be a poll worker here because I don't live here. So I'm asking you all, if you can do that, please do that. Now, one of the last things I want to say is this. I know a lot of you are shy. Some of you are shy when it comes to phone banking, but right now that is what a lot of campaigns need. A lot of campaigns need phone banking. Tanya, my folks in Florida have already mailed their ballots in. Yay! I'm so happy to hear that. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that, especially since I know how Tanya's parents voted. I assume I know how they voted. This is the thing. I really want you all to recognize too that phone banking is important for this reason. Text banking is important. We all have been flooded with it. But at the same time, the personal touch of phone calling, sometimes people don't really have great internet or don't really have, they have their cell phones, but they prefer a personal touch and need to be reminded. They like to be reached out to. It's a good personal touch to call somebody. I did phone banking for Reverend Warnock in Georgia. I'm going to do some phone banking for Jamie Harrison. It's actually pretty easy. There's a script that comes with it. They don't get your phone number. You don't get to keep their phone number. It just dials in for you. It's a very anonymous system in a way, but there's a personal touch. And it's a real way to engage with voters and to remind them. And also you can kind of help them. I mean, one of the voters asked me when I was calling in Georgia, they said, when does early voting start? I was like, it started today. And they were really excited. They didn't know. So you can also be a line of information for some of these people, right? Okay. So that's where we're at right now. A lot of you, let me talk about polls for a second. A lot of people have said to me, I hate that they're sharing polls, Maya. They shouldn't be sharing poll numbers right now. And I go, why not? Sharing poll numbers is not a problem. Poll numbers are just a temperature of where we're at. It doesn't tell the whole story. We know that the vote is what counts. But to have polling, which is scientific, which is data-based, it even comes with margin of error, it kind of just shows where we're at with the election. And by the way, studies have showing the share of vote, right, saying that Biden is leading by 12%. That is shown not to turn down election turnout. In fact, it's just fine. It makes it even. People get to kind of see where we're at, and they know that they represent in one of those two numbers, and so they go vote. What does depress turnout a little bit is the thing that they did in 2016, which is they would say, Clinton has a 99% chance of winning. So people were like, you know what? I'm not even going to vote then because she's going to win and my vote, who cares? That does to depress turnout. So if you see pollsters doing that, I would tell them to cut it out. Because we already know this election that we still have hurdles, right? We still have people that have been purged from their voting. We see that websites have crashed when people try to register to vote. We see that there's very long lines. So we know there's aspects of voter suppression, right? So we know that there's still obstacles. We know there's still misinformation. We see Maggie Haberman sharing this grotesque unproven story from the New York Post today. So we know some aspects of our media are still failing us. Let me say this to piggyback off of what Amy Klobuchar said today in the Senate. we believe in journalists and we believe in their safety and we believe in their protection, but we also need journalists to do well by us. While we're advocating for the freedom of the press, while we're advocating for journalist safety, while we're promoting local and supporting local journalism, we should also call out journalists that are trying to create some sort of dramatic horse race drivel. No, this is not 2016. We're not doing this again. Okay. So 20 days. I'm going to leave you with this. Please consider making phone calls. You can go to mobilize, I believe, .us to find a campaign. You can go to Swing Left and find out, I believe it's swingleft.org. Let me double check, okay? Swing Left. They also have a way to make phone calls. It is swingleft.org. I was right about that. Yes. Go to swingleft.org. You can volunteer that way to make phone calls. I know it's stressful. I know that it's embarrassing to try to make phone calls. I get nervous, and I'm not shy at all. But, I get shy about calling people's homes sometimes. But you've got to just do it anyways. Because this idea that we're just going to magically win without really pushing all the way through, that's just not how it works. You see that Trump is still close in some states, which I find utterly befuddling. But he is. And we need to win by clear, large margins, because we already know that AG Barr will try to stop voting counts really after election night. He's going to try to invalidate that, trying to install this terrible bigot to the Supreme Court right now. We have real obstacles to deal with. So I'm sorry, I don't want to hear anybody saying, well, I tweeted, and I think that's enough. It's not enough. Your girl here, she's raised over $20,000 for House and Senate races. I have phone called for Senate candidates, for House candidates. I am doing what I can to educate people about how to get to the polls and how to volunteer. And to me, I still don't feel like I'm doing enough. Okay, so pick up your game. Let's win this. Let's on election night. Let's cry tears of joy instead of what happened 4 years ago. Okay, everybody? So I love you all. I will see you again soon to continue to talk about this election. You can find me on Twitter, as you know, to talk about this election. And if you have any questions, I'm here. People text me, people DM me questions. I'm happy to answer them. Okay? Love to you all. Bye. See you soon.